Are you thinking of trading and buying penny stocks overnight, but are worried about the potential risk of dilution and offering? Well, today I'll be going over how you can quickly read penny stock SEC filings and balance sheets in under 10 minutes with a few keywords and figure out whether this penny stock is a buy or a sell. We're going to use ZYNE and YRIV as examples in this video. These are the penny stocks that's been very hot the last week. If you think this topic will be useful to you and your trading, please make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Now let's get into it. To start, I usually go to Nasdaq.com, the website, to look at the filings. Let's do YRIV first, YRIV. So here we go, YNZ River Port and Logistics. And once you're here, you're going to scroll down. On the left sidebar, there is SEC filings. And here you can see all the filings this stock has ever filed. I'm not interested in reading every single document. The ones I'm looking for are the 10K and the S3. So we'll look at the Form 10K. So Form 10K is an annual report all the public companies, including the penny stocks, they need to file this to summarize their financial performance every year. So right now we're looking at 10K for YRIV. So when I look at SEC filings for these hot penny stocks, there are a few things I want to figure out first. How much short-term debt do they have, if they have the cash to pay for that debt and stay operating, and if they need to do an offering or sell more shares anytime soon to raise more cash. I'm not reading the filings and the financial statements to invest in the penny stock companies long term. I'm just quickly skimming through the filings to know the likelihood of the stock going higher short term or crash overnight, basically. So right away, I want to look at whether this company is making money at all in the past few years. So I will Control F the word revenue. So that'll bring us to the consolidated statement of income. So right away, you can see that this company hasn't made anything since 2014. So that's a red flag. So after looking at the revenue, we want to look at the operating expense. So we'll do Control Search expense, and that brings us to results of operations. We want to see how much cash this company needs to run. So their loss from operations is literally in millions every year. 5.4 mil in 2016, 5 million in 2017, and in 2018 they lost 3.7 million. So now that we know this company has a high burn rate, which is their operating expense in millions, we want to see whether they have enough cash in the bank to pay for the operating cost. So to do that, we'll do a Control Search, cash equivalent, and that will lead us to this balance sheet here. Okay, so we see that in 2018, last time reported, they only have 120K in the bank. So right away, after looking at cash, revenue, and operating expenses, you should be asking the question, so if they're not making any money at all and have only 120K left in cash reserve at the end of 2018, how have they been paying all the millions of operating costs the last few years? So to answer the question, I'm gonna look up the keyword shares outstanding. So what I'm looking for is the change in numbers each year for the shares outstanding. So you can see that in 2016, the number increased from 2015. The same again in 2017. The shares increased by tens of millions each year. So that could be how they've been getting the money to stay operating. They've been issuing more shares and diluting them into the open market. Now that's just a thesis. We can confirm whether that's true or not on the daily chart of the stock, because the chart don't lie. So this is a daily chart for YRIV. We can see that this company made a huge run up all the way from $4 to $26 in the middle of 2017, and followed by a huge drop in the end of 2017 and the early 2018. So this confirms that yes, there had been dilution in the history of the stock. They've been diluting their shares in the open market in order to pull out more cash to pay for the operating expenses, which we saw earlier was about 3.5 million. So after that, the next keyword I look for is offering, warrants, or convertibles. So I'm looking to see a history of offering and when's the last time they did an offering, or if they have any dilution activity coming up soon. So I can't find any offering history on YRIV. But right here in their 10K, the company says the market price of our shares could decline as a result of sales of substantial amounts of our shares in the public market. So this company admits that they've been dumping the shares to the investors in the market. So after offering, I want to try warrants, see if there's any outstanding warrants. Oh, so there is no outstanding warrants. That's good. But I do want to see convertible notes. So convertible notes are basically bonds or corporate debt this company sold to investors and funds when they try to raise money. And let's see, convertible notes. So right here, you can see that this company has a history of issuing these convertibles in the past. In 2016, 2017, they did a lot in 2018. So essentially, they've been borrowing money from investors to cover their own operating expenses, it seems like. But these debts have to be paid when the note matures. So they issued a lot of these convertibles in 2018 and they have been redeemed. When they're redeemed, these notes are converted into the common stock. That releases more shares into the open market. They sold them. So that's why at the end of 2018, we see a huge drop in share prices from $12 to below $3. So that's a clear sign of dilution right there for YRIV. So now we know that this company has never made any revenue, has only $120K in the bank, and has a high burn rate of millions in operating costs every year, and have a history of selling shares in the open market. Now we want to see how much shares this company have registered to sell, if any at all. So let's go back to Nasdaq filing. What I want to look at now is the latest S3 form. So the most recent S3 form is from 2018, but that's okay. That's still really relevant, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So Form S3 is a form that the public companies have to file when issuing new shares. Right away, we can see that YRIV have registered shares to sell for up to $300 million in 2018. Wow, that's a lot. And on the Form S3, you can look up keyword such as shelf. Shelf is a special type of offering registration that allows the companies to have up to a 2-year window to sell their shares. So right here it says that by using a shelf registration statement, this company can sell securities from time to time in one or more offerings for up to a total amount of $300 million. With their high cost of operating expense and zero revenue, you bet they will be selling. They can do multiple offerings if they want to. So now that we know the above information, we know that this company will likely do an offering, either through common shares or debt convertibles. The missing information is when, and that's the part that's really hard to find with YRIV. There are cases with penny stocks that's easier to estimate an offering date, which I'll show you in this video, especially with biotech companies. So the best we could do is to look at the stock's daily chart with technical analysis. So on the daily chart, we can see that the next major resistance is this line right here around $3. The stock has made a huge run recently though, from 60 cents to almost $2. So that'll be very interesting. The stock definitely has more room to go to $3. They haven't even announced any PR yet recently. I can't see any news PR on Finviz or Yahoo Finance. Now, if I were the company, I would try to release more PR and pump the share prices up as high as I could, and then issue the offering at around $3 to get the most bang for your buck, right? Or do the offering at 400%. But I'm not saying to buy and hold the stock to $3. I personally would not hold the stock overnight, knowing they could issue an offering at any time they want. But if I were trading this penny stock intraday, I would see if it could break above the previous resistance around Y90. Once it breaks and holds, it has the room to run to $3. And if I want to scale in short, $3 will be the key level I will look to get in for a short for dilution activity. Now the next stock I want to look at is ZYNE. So this is a penny stock that's been breaking out the last few days. I have not traded it, but after looking at the SEC filing and financial statement, etc., I actually really like it for a long continuation. And I'm about to tell you why. So let's repeat the same process we did with YRIV on ZYNE. We'll go to Nasdaq.com, type in the ticker, and again, click SEC filings, and we are going to look at the 10K. Again, search for the term revenue. Now, we can see that, again, this penny stock company is just like YRIV. They're not making any money. 86,000 in 2018, that's just pathetic. But the key difference between the two penny stocks is that ZYNE, this is a biotech company. So typical biotech companies do not generate revenues consistently. They keep on raising funding from investors to fund their drugs in their pipeline. So they go into research trials, FDA filing, FDA approval process. Therefore, these biotech companies can be burning through investors' cash for many years before they even make a profit. But these companies are most likely to still going to have access to more funding because all these investors and funds are betting on them getting the drug approved in many years down the road and finally churn out big profit. So that's something to keep in mind. The revenue figure for biotechs are worth looking at, but what matters more is whether the company has enough cash to cover their operating cost. So right here, we can see on their balance sheets, they have an operating expense of $39 million. That's almost $40 million in 2018. So now next we want to see if they have the cash to cover that operating cost. So again, we're going to look for a keyword cash equivalent. Okay, so they do have some cash. You can see that in 2017, they have 62 million in cash. And in 2018, they have 59 million. So that will cover the operating cost for a little bit. Now, just in case, let's still look up the term offering. What I'm looking for, again, is the offering history. So right here, you can see that from January of this year to March, the beginning of March this year, they've already did an offering. So they issued 3 million shares of common stock and they raised about $18.7 million. So that's good. They just did it last month already, so it's unlikely there will be an offering anytime soon. If the last offering on a biotech penny stock was a while ago and they have a high burn rate and are low on cash reserve and only have 120K like YRIV, then that could be a serious warning sign that they may do an offering sometime soon. We saw that exact same example in my last video reading the SEC filing for AVEO. That company didn't have cash to cover their operating expense. They have a drug coming up they need to put into trial soon, and they haven't done an offering since the last summer. So they did do an offering pretty soon, right after they propped the stock shares up. So feel free to check that video out for a more detailed breakdown on AVEO and OPTT. So in this case, I think we'll find on ZYNE. I don't see an offering coming up anytime soon. But what's even better is that down here in debt, it says right here they have no debt outstanding as of December 2018. So this is where I can be confident that this penny stock company raised the money, the $18.7 million, to actually fund their research and trials on their drugs, as opposed to raising the money to pay back the debt obligations like YRIV. So after looking at SEC filings and scanning for recent news and drug trials, let's look at a daily chart for ZYNE. Gorgeous daily chart, increasing volume and uptrend on the daily chart. And it has so much room to run. The next resistance, the next major resistance will be $11 and then $12.50. It's also in a hot sector. Now we can consider this in a cannabis sector. And they have a lot of cash and they have a catalyst. If you see my video on beginner swing trading strategy, you'll see how this penny stock is primed for a multi-day breakout. If it dips and holds at $8 level, this stock will be on my watch for the next day trading and swing trading for sure. So this is how you quickly do a penny stock SEC filing analysis, quickly with keywords. And you'll be looking for those keywords in the Form 10K and S3. Again, the goal of this search is not for long-term investment. It's to quickly find out if this penny stock company has cash to cover their expenses and debt short-term. Do they have any outstanding shares, warrants, or convertibles registered for an offering that they can do? So play around with these keywords that I just mentioned. It does take some practice, but after trying it out a couple of times, you should be able to skim through these filing keywords in under 10 minutes. I made this reading the SEC filing video after receiving so many requests from my last video. It really took me a long time to compile the research on the stocks and explaining the process in the simplest way possible for you guys. So please make sure to give me a like on this video, subscribe, and let me know down in the comment section below if you found it useful. If you have any suggestions or feedback, feel free to let me know as well. I'm always looking for feedback and hearing other traders' process and streamlining my own research. If you're looking for day trading and swing trading strategies, I'll also leave the link down below. This is the Humble Trader. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you next time.